Let's talk about smart glasses. We're looking at a piece of tech that promises to lay our digital lives right over the real world. But as they quietly blend our physical and digital worlds, they also open up some of the biggest, most complicated questions about privacy we've ever had to ask.
So let me just ask you this. Imagine a company could watch a replay of your entire day, not as a video, but as a timeline of data, where you went, who you talked to, and even when your biometrics showed you were nervous or excited. If they could do that, would you honestly feel like you still have a private life? It's a heavy question, right?
All right, to really get a handle on the privacy problem here, we first have to understand what makes smart glasses so different from, say, the phone in your pocket or the watch on your wrist. It's a whole different ballgame.
You know, wearable tech has been on this steady march. Fitness trackers were all about looking inward, monitoring our own bodies. Then smartwatches came along and became this dashboard for our digital lives. But smart glasses, well, they turn the camera around. They're designed to look outward, to constantly observe and analyze and record the world around you.
And here is the absolute key difference. Their real power comes from being passive, from being always ready. With your phone, you have to make a conscious choice to pull it out and hit record. But smart glasses are designed to see and hear everything, all the time, just in case you need them. And that right there transforms every single moment into a potential data point just waiting to be collected.
So what's actually being captured? Because I promise you, it is so much more than just a video. The real story, the one we need to pay attention to, is the invisible data trail these things create from every little interaction we have.
We're really talking about 3 different layers of data here. First, there's biometric data. It's analyzing your body's unconscious reactions, like where your eyes look or how your pupils dilate. Then you've got behavioral data, which tracks your patterns and habits. And finally, environmental data, which is mapping the entire world around you, from the brands it sees to the conversations it overhears. You put all that together, and you have a profile of a person that is unbelievably detailed and deeply, deeply personal.
And this really gets to the core of it. A simple chat with a friend isn't just a chat anymore. It's a data set. The glasses can measure how engaged you are, how emotionally aroused you are based on your pupils, and read unspoken feelings from your microexpressions. And all of this happens without you or your friend ever saying yes to that level of analysis.
Let's just paint a quick picture. Say you're in a cafe. You think you're just having a private conversation, but the glasses might be transcribing it and tagging it with keywords like anxiety. You think you're just picking a coffee, but they're logging how long your gaze lingers on the high-sugar options, and you think you're just people watching, but the device is actually running facial scans on total strangers. See how quickly ordinary life becomes constant, unconsented data collection?
So this constant possibility of being recorded, it has a huge effect on that once clear line between our public and private lives. When basically anyone around you could be recording anything at any time, how does that change the way we act?
Well, it can lead to something called the chilling effect. This is that subtle, creeping self-censorship that kicks in when we feel like we're being watched. Maybe you hesitate to talk about a sensitive topic, or you think twice before joining a protest, or you just stop expressing yourself as freely. All because your words could be recorded, made searchable, and kept forever.
And think about the places where we have this deep social agreement that they're private. A doctor's office, right? A classroom, a place of worship. With smart glasses, those boundaries they can evaporate. A sensitive diagnosis, a passionate debate in a class, a private moment of prayer, all of it can be captured and stored, completely blurring the lines of consent and safety.
So why? Why would companies want to collect all this incredibly sensitive information? Well, the answer, as it so often is, boils down to money. This is about monetizing reality itself. The business model is a pretty simple but terrifyingly powerful 3-step process. First, capture reality from your point of view. Second, analyze not just what you're looking at, but how you emotionally feel about it. And third, use all that emotional and behavioral data to predict what you're going to do next and ultimately influence your choices with perfectly timed, psychologically targeted ads.
And this leads us directly to things that can have a very real impact on your wallet. For instance, have you heard of dynamic pricing? It's this idea that the price for something shouldn't be fixed. It should change based on who is looking at it and when. Okay, check this out. Here's how that could work in the real world. 2 people are looking for the exact same flight. The system sees that user A seems relaxed, just browsing, so they get a standard price. But it detects biometric signs of anxiety in user B, maybe from their facial expression or data patterns that suggest they're in a hurry. The system predicts they're desperate and will pay more, so it jacks up the price by over 60% for the same exact seat.
Now, I know this can all sound incredibly dystopian, but the future of this tech isn't set in stone. It is a choice. We have a say in this. So what can we actually do to take back some control and make sure these tools are working for us, not the other way around?
There are some really clear, actionable solutions we can demand. We can require obvious recording lights so people know when they're on camera. We can push for data to be processed on the device itself instead of being uploaded to some corporate cloud. We can pass laws that limit how much data is collected in the first place. And we can establish legally protected no-record zones in sensitive areas.
And you know what? It's not just about laws. We all have a social responsibility here. It means being a thoughtful user, turning off risky features, respecting people when they ask you to stop recording. It means we have to ask the hard questions before we rush out to buy and normalize these things. And it means using our money to support companies that actually take privacy seriously from the very beginning.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. Technology shows us what's possible, but it's up to us as a society to draw the line and decide what's acceptable. So the real question isn't what smart glasses can do, it's what we will allow them to do. What kind of world do we really want to see through these new eyes?